needs a permit.
I promise by next time.
Great, I just bought a big.
Well, it could get windy.
Yeah.
So I'll take this note that says turn on recording and say
Yeah, I can't get Wi-Fi password.
Wi-Fi or
It's coming
so Caitlin,
along.
what's your specialty? Are you a general civil engineer or are you a traffic person or?
I'm water resources, so mostly like water, wastewater, stormwater. Site layout,
I'm so sorry.
not traffic, but I mean, we could look at traffic plans. Studies, right? My son has to stop texting me.
The town engineer, whenever traffic stuff comes up,
So here.
says, I'll give it to the traffic
You can
guy.
connect to the library Wi-Fi here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you wanna?
I mean, I was just looking for the agenda and you probably bought it, so.
Yeah, here,
Yeah,
I'll see.
so
So is this?
everything else he has
But
copies of.
the library comes over here, so.
Oh, does it? Okay. I didn't see it on the list.
Is that no?
Yeah, no, I'm good. This is my son, he's at the grocery store telling me there's no grapes. And why aren't there any grapes? And wait, I found one pint behind the blueberries. I'm like, cause it's back to school and
Grapes-
grapes are a
Grapes
snack
don't
that
come in
go.
pints. You know.
No.
No, they're hidden behind the
Do they have any plums?
he owns plums too. But yeah, I know. Go for a substitute. The thing is, it's back to school. Do you know what people
For
get?
lunches,
Yeah,
yeah.
put in the lunches. That's why there's no grapes in the store. It's important stuff.
So, I know Toby's gonna be online, and Jeff's gonna be online.
Oh, okay.
And Annie's coming here, and,
Someone's here.
Cats, Laura?
Laura's coming.
Okay.
And
No,
Larry's coming here.
I don't want.
Sure.
Jeff tried to get in, but he didn't make it. Or maybe he made it. Jeff, are you there? Jeff, you're there. You are.
Hi. Technology issue.
Hold on. I'm gonna move it down the other end, so I have. Make the table a little short.
Yeah, I'm not imagining it. You told me it was my glasses. Isn't it seem shorter?
It really could be 4 people longer.
These chairs are big, for such a little area.
I feel like the table shrunk.
Yeah. 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 Right. And the room's big enough.
I have to talk to Mr. Parker, so he gave this table. Back some of it, it's a gift to Mr. Parker.
Oh.
Hello, how are you? You have wheels, we can squeeze.
Annie. There. Rose over there is this chair tape. That's for you.
I learned last time to put this on the table back. Basically,
Why?
because someone trips over the wires and it goes flying across the room,
Wow,
and
that's,
it's $1,000.
that's like a high technology.
Yeah, why isn't it wireless? Sorry I dropped you, everybody. Literally.
I guess moving the wires wasn't good.
Well, I was being very careful about the owl and not very careful about the laptop.
I suddenly became the host.
Yeah. She's zooming in from the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
It really?
Yeah, well, I'm, laundry, what does that say? I can't see. Linens.
Alright, as soon as Annie comes down, we will start the meeting. Oh, and
Freeman or Will?
Yeah. Does it look like something you guys know to do?
That's not,
Oh.
that's a COVID shield.
What's that?
Open it up, it's a COVID shield.
Oh my God, it's the
Oh,
plastic.
okay, well, that's what we want.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
I know, but I have to get the Zoom running.
just tell me where they are.
I don't know where they
We
are.
use them in hearings, but we use some other kind of hearings. It was wooded. It was wood. Well, I thought, well, I'll check it here, but.
Why does it keep disappearing? Wow, we have a big turnout.
Okay, yeah, Will Freeman, oh, he's here now. Okay, great. He got in.
Why are we not hearing them?
Well, okay.
Hello.
Just waiting, just waiting for the mechanical difficulties of the easel.
Could one of the people on Zoom talk so we can see if we hear you?
Hello, hello, hello.
No.
And here's Linda. Hello,
It's
hello.
very- The sound's not
Yes,
great.
and hello.
Hey, these low-tech wired things.
Like your little sign. We're trying, those of you on Zoom, we're trying to find an easel to put the plans up on.
Ah.
Can you hear us?
Yeah,
I
but
can.
they're still not coming through the speaker.
It is coming through.
I hear you, I guess you don't hear us.
Couldn't do this speaker.
Oh.
I was just saying today how Weston's Zoom works better than anybody's.
Jinxed it.
Spoke too soon.
Yep.
Now,
Somebody
now
speak.
someone talk, unless someone made that owl sound.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello, hello.
Zoom works if you just turn it on and don't touch it or move it.
I just literally, it's like every part of my head. Okay.
Laura conked
This
her
is
head on the
probably
ceiling.
And you can just put that table that's at least higher.
Yeah, so you don't have to hold
I mean,
it.
how are the Zoom people
I
going
can't
to
find
be able to
a,
see
I
it?
can't find an easel. So maybe if we clip it, and is there something, we could just do, oh, it's on a board.
Can you do it on the board up
There's
here?
no easel up there.
You can pin that one to the one she brought.
I did not accomplish anything apparently, because it's already got a
Can we just
back.
lay it down here?
Yeah, whatever you guys
Whatever's
want. There's no
Put
easel
'em on
anywhere
the
to be
table
found.
anytime.
Maybe
The rolling chairs make great
Tell
easels
the
if someone
town
wants to
to
give up their rolling chair.
There's a
invest
rolling
in
chair
an
right
easel.
here.
Watch this.
We can pass it around the circle.
This is hilarious.
Remember, I forgot we need a clip to hold it in place.
There is,
Okay. And
I'm not
unfortunately,
saying
I guess you on the, on Zoom are not gonna be able to see the.
But they had it emailed to them, so do they not
Yeah.
have a computer?
All right, it's 5:05 and I'm going to call the meeting to order. The first thing on the agenda is to approve the minutes, but before we do that, I'm going to have us go around here in the room and then up on Zoom. I want everybody to be able to know all the parties who are here. I'm Debbie Granquist.
I'm Deb Linus.
Susan Morris?
Larry, you're next.
Larry Dalzell.
And Kate Golden.
oh, sorry.
Sorry.
And Annie Fuji
Fuji, Laura Katz.
and,
Bill Goodman.
okay. And so on Zoom, we have Jeff Lennox on our top left. We have Natalie Boston over to the right. We have Toby Smiles. I guess you're in the tic-tac-toe. You're over in the like left-hand corner of the tic-tac-toe. Then we have, no, wait a minute. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's Peter Miller we have first. Then we have Toby Smiles. Then we have Linda Sarnioki, and then we have Will Freeman. Okay, welcome, everybody. The first item on the agenda is the approval of our minutes from the July 23rd, 25 meeting. May I have a motion to approve them, please?
Move to approve
Laura
the
Katz
minutes.
made a motion
Second.
and Annie Fuji seconded. All in favor of approving the minutes of the
My
July
printer isn't working, so
23rd
I don't
meeting?
have a-
Say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, meeting minutes are approved. Next item on the agenda is the Weston Bakery. This was put on the agenda at the request of the zoning administrator to discuss site plan issues. I thought it might be helpful to go through Vermont law and our bylaws or zoning amendments, our zoning bylaws as to how amendments to site plan take place. And amendments to site plans are generally handled in the same way that original site plans are reviewed. But the exact procedure depends on our zoning bylaws. The first question is, what actually counts as an amendment to a site plan? Minor amendments, minor modifications like small landscaping changes may sometimes be approved administratively by the zoning administrator if the local bylaws allow it. Otherwise, it goes to the DRB. So amendment usually happens when a project changes in a way that could affect the original findings, such as the building footprint, traffic circulation, landscaping, lighting, parking, stormwater, or other features. There is an actual process for doing a site plan amendment. The applicant should submit a revised site plan application to the zoning administrator. And if the change is considered substantive, the zoning administrator refers it to the development review board for review. For substantive amendments, the DRB must hold a warned public hearing. Notice this tonight is not a warned public hearing. This is a meeting. We did not have a site plan in order to warn a public hearing. So this is not a warned public hearing, and no decisions can be made by the Development Review Board at this meeting. Warned public hearings, as we all are aware of, require 15 days notice in a newspaper and notice to all the adjoining property owners. The review standards for site plan amendments are the same as what applies to the original site plan criteria. So we would have to look at 706, 70 something, or we'll get there. Well, no, we won't, because we're not making a decision tonight. And as we all know, once a decision is made on an amended site plan, the Development Review Board will issue a written decision. We have 45 days in which to issue that decision. And once that decision is issued, and any interested party may appeal the decision of the Development Review Board within 30 days. So that is the process of how we go about doing a site plan amendment. We only received this site plan yesterday, so this is not a site plan amendment hearing. This is just a meeting to hear from the applicant about the changes that have taken place between the original approved site plan and what they are suggesting for a site plan now. I'm going to let the applicant talk about the site plan amendment. I can't see you guys very readily up there, so if you have a burning question, you got to kind of jump in and say hello, so that because I can't see you to call on you if I'm looking over here to see the site plan. So don't be shy if you want to ask a question. All right, everybody understand where we are? Any questions on process?
I thought we were starting with the zoning administrator identifying issues, or have I missed something? I don't have the agenda in front of me.
We have a discussion of the site plan issues. If Will would like to start by doing that, or since we have a new site plan, we can just turn it over to the applicant. What is that? Does that answer your question, Will? I'm sorry, yeah, Will Freeman, yes.
Oh, sure. However you want to proceed. I just wasn't sure where the zoning administrator fit in with this discussion.
Well, my hope is that the applicant will kind of address what Will had as issues, but if Will would like to talk first, or if he'd like the applicant to talk first, it's your choice.
I think it'd be more helpful, but we can see what Jeff has to say.
Okay, Jeff.
I think we should hear what Will has to say first. And then maybe she will address some of Will's concerns. That would be my ask.
Okay. Can I ask one question before you start?
Sure.
Yeah. There was a plan, a copied plan distributed here amongst the group, doesn't have a title block or any kind of labeling.
Mhm.
I don't know the date of this drawing, can somebody lend some?
It's not relevant.
Oh,
Okay,
I didn't intend for it to be passed around. It was just a pile of things.
why is it relevant?
Why
It's
isn't
not
it?
relevant.
It's not the same as
so
this.
it's,
It's,
Is this the older
than
original
just
one
the
then, where you
original?
It's one of the
it's
several.
not, yeah,
Okay,
like this was
I
the
just want
first
to
one they
understand where this
drew.
fits.
That's for the inn.
Oh, for the end,
One
okay,
here is 22.
well, because I think there's the,
three there,
Yeah.
so that's your originally approved site plan.
Okay, that's
what you
different.
want.
That's different than.
so we just have to look at this.
And then you
this-
have the new one, is that, I mean, the current one over there that was approved. On your somewhere.
Oh, there you
Thank
go,
you.
okay,
I'll
perfect,
So the-
just kind of,
yeah,
Between the
Okay.
two.
yeah,
So the first
Thank you.
approved one is
this top one.
2022.
Yeah, so it was August 3rd, 2022 is what I have.
and what's your third one that you have?
So I don't know if this will complicate things, so if it will, we don't need to look at this one.
Okay,
This one is the current site plan.
Okay.
with the old building laid out underneath the
Oh,
the
okay,
existing. what you
oh,
see today
okay,
building.
well, that might be very helpful.
I think it's helpful
Yeah,
for discussion,
that's
but I
helpful.
don't wanna confuse anyone if like multiple lines and colors will maybe make it less.
Yeah,
clear. Yeah.
But I think that would be helpful, if we can see what the changes are right in there, we might have to get up and look.
I have a small version I can pass around.
That
too,
would be
so
great
then
if
can
you
look
do.
at it as I
Okay,
describe
That
it.
sounds great,
But the full size is
okay,
helpful.
no, that sounds good,
to
thank you.
So do you want to,
Do you wanna?
or do you want to go, or do you want to have?
No, I'll go.
Okay.
Some concerns were raised to me about the inn as built being bigger than what was on the site plan. So I asked for a copy of the site plan and got it and found there was no truck unloading area anymore on the site plan. So I inquired about that and I was told that alternative arrangements had been made with the state. Because it was not possible to fit in the truck unloading area, they've made arrangements with the state to unload on the other side of the street. But no one at the state knew they were unloading in the right of way on the other side of the street. They were assuming there was a proper loading area on the other side of the street. A lot of this problem dates back to this site plan for the inn, which was sort of drawn on a napkin and approved in the 90s, but it's binding. And it was a grandfathered business, so when it reopened, we didn't make any demands on changes.
So there's no
Not the same as this.
loading site on this.
Yes,
This has a date of 24 on it. I don't know, or maybe that's a.
What's that?
94.
99, 713.
Where it says garage, too many,
That's the owner's house. So-
okay,
Right.
okay, so that's different,
So
that
this
there's no,
is not, the one that's approved by the planning commission or the way back when
yeah,
has an unloading zone at the end. The one that's approved. The decision that went with this plan says loading and unloading will be in the parking lot. Actually, if you get the right one, there's a drawn out loading and unloading zone in the inn parking lot. And I do have that at my house. This is not the one that was approved by the planning commission. Okay, that's the one that's in the vault. So the one that I have that's marked by the planning commission is not marked 20, 51, 24, I don't know what that is, but I can produce the one that shows the parking for the inn. The other thing is with the owner's quarters, now that has become a spa, which was never approved. The owner's quarters always had, in rooms in it, and so it's decided that would be grandfathered.
But spa is different.
You got that in writing somewhere?
But it has rooms
Yeah.
also, I think. The second building doesn't have rooms.
It's always had rooms.
Rooms and a spa and a gym. You know, that could be a hotel
It's amenity to a hotel.
use. I don't see
But
that.
any major change to the building according to the zoning bylaws say that they have to go through planning commission, DRB and the parking stuff, so any major change to that building required and stuff, so probably needs some following up on zoning bylaws.
And just so that we all know, that the indecision predated all of us.
Our
It was
ordinance.
done by the planning commission, not by the DRB.
I think what Jeff's talking about is the reopening though.
But that was the same thing. We
That
weren't,
And what was the
We
date
weren't-
of
we
the
weren't
original
involved.
we weren't
decision?
involved.
Yeah, but you need to follow the decision of the planning commission, I mean, you guys are now the.
No, I understand we need to follow it, but we're not the enforcement agent.
Right.
There's the
Will-
enforcement agent.
You're saying on camera will is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What was the date of the original PC?
For which one?
And it was the planning commission.
This is site plan approved 7/13/97 or 99, I'm not sure
I
where.
think it was 94.
Oh.
And also, I do
It's a little
believe a
chopped off,
conversation that we had when we were talking about zoning regulations and changes. Like, we brought up the fact that a spa was not listed in that, and that in the future, we might consider and similar structures that don't have greater impact, but at the time that was done, the spa was not included in, accepted.
Can I butt in for a second? Aren't we here to discuss the bakery? Can we
Yes,
stick
yeah.
to bakery?
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's what's on the agenda, so I would appreciate that.
But the loading is part of the
Yeah,
discussion.
they're interrelated.
Well, we don't know if it is. We don't know what, we haven't seen what the new site plan is. So let's see the new
This is
site
all-
plan.
This is all just historical fill-in.
Right.
Yeah.
Are
To
you
bring people up to speed. I think.
finished? I mean, I want you to finish what you were saying, because you started the discussion, so
Yeah,
I wanna make
I want
sure
you to finish
you're
your.
finished and then Caitlin.
So then I finally talked to Caitlin and she said she would come up with a solution for unloading both the bakery and the inn. And that's where we are.
All right.
Okay, so, any more questions for Will? And then I'm gonna turn it over to Caitlin. Okay, moving right along, Caitlin, go ahead.
So I can't speak to the inn in this approved plan here, but I can talk about the bakery, obviously. So I just want to start with that there aren't major changes to the bakery site plan from when you previously approved it. There were.
It also looks like the parking moved back closer to the
The
neighbors.
parking is actually farther from the neighbors than this approved
Okay.
plan.
It's,
So it was approved as 15 feet
All right.
and we've done.
that's the
25.
old plan, that's okay.
Yeah, so this is the previously approved
Yeah.
plan, I will say the only approved plan at this point,
Yeah.
to not confuse anyone. This was approved, I think, in 2022, and there were discussions following the approval from the DRB. Just taking this to the next step, there are state permits involved, so anything that you see that's changed on here is a direct reflection of things we evolved during those permits. I'll start with the entrance. The entrance has remained in the same spot as approved by the DRB. The change here is actually that the radius has changed from 10 feet to 30 feet because by V-Trans standards, to accommodate deliveries and commercial vehicle access, you need a 30-foot radius. So by all permitting by V-Trans measures, access at the bakery accommodates truck traffic and deliveries, and that is why V-Trans approved this permit. There was discussion during the permitting process of utilizing the existing drop-off space at the inn to truck things over. I wanna just make it clear that the utilization of that isn't to increase deliveries where the inn gets deliveries. The deliveries are gonna be on the same truck. So like unloading the truck and then they're gonna put it maybe in the back of a van or on a little dolly and bring it across the street. It's not intended that there's like an increase or there's more deliveries happening. The inn is obviously a separate issue that I'm hearing. But the intent isn't that there's like this increase in traffic, there's more parking. It's just simply that the deliveries being made at the inn right now are the same vendors. Natalie, interrupt me if I'm misspeaking, but it's the same vendors that the inn gets, so it's just, you know, logistics of why park in two different places, park in one spot, unload and dolly across.
Can I ask you a question? What do you, I don't know what the radius change means. Can you explain that?
So like, we had a smaller radius here, we had it tighter, meaning the truck would have to make a really tight turn. So we made it larger to accommodate like a larger truck turning in.
And that's on the front door?
So it's right here in the same spot as it was previously approved, so you can see these sweeping radius marks here compared to this.
Oh, I get it. Okay. I thought it meant like inside the area. It's it's the
like
entrance.
right where it meets the Route 100.
Okay.
It's a bigger, I don't know how to describe it. If you can picture a truck like taking a big turn, yeah.
So I did happen to know, and it's on your plan here as well, that it identifies the radius as 20 feet, not 30 feet.
Oh, I'm sorry, maybe they're 20 feet. I'll check that, but they are V-Trans approved radius.
Because trucks will be going in there now.
Trucks can go in there.
Okay, so but your plan is one truck or whatever.
Yeah.
At the end, but that's just to accommodate
Yeah.
trucks
So
if you need something. in there.
Exactly, so the design of this access has improved since the previously approved one because of the radius increasing to meet V-Trans standards. It's also wider. I think we only have 20 feet wide at the right of way line. V-Trans required us to extend that to 24 feet. So we are permitted and meeting all V-Trans access standards for commercial vehicles and commercial drives.
So will the trucks have to
Okay.
block the driveway to unload?
This driveway?
Yeah.
So the intent was still that they would be just trucked over.
Okay. But it's conceivable
It is,
to do it
it
if
is
you block.
legitimate that they could get into this driveway.
Now, will they be using what's with the loading dock, because when we approved it, we had a discussion about the fact that the loading was going to be behind the building in a loading dock and not an obstruction to the front and parking lot.
Yeah, so the zoning requires like a 12-foot by 40-foot loading area. We don't have a loading area defined, but this wall has been constructed a little askew from where it was previously approved and designed. So the issue is that this now is smaller and you can't get a truck all the way back to that loading dock. So if you start right where that 12 feet is, you can come out 40 feet and you're just right into this corner here. So you're not blocking any of this parking. The issue is you're then having a truck come in and make maybe a
20-point turn.
20-point turn. Again, ease, they're already across the street, so the thought was unload from that truck from the inn, put it in either a van or right on a dolly, depending on what they are getting that day, and just walk it across or drive it across in a van. And there's plenty of room here for a car to get in without obstructing any of this. And this space is a generator location. It looks like a parking space, but it's not.
Okay.
Right here.
Jeff, did you have a question?
Well, yes, I guess I have a couple of things. The V-Trans permit that I was sent and you were sent, Will, from Mark Pickering after Natalie said that they were allowed on Mill Lane. Said that it absolutely was not large enough for trucks. And secondly, I asked him where the inn is unloading now is not a legal unloading zone. They're supposed to be parking in the inn. And they're parked between two no parking signs. And, you can pass this around a little bit, but this is kind of some of what you're looking at when they're parked there in the street unloading and you're trying to pull out of Mill Lane. So I don't think they should be allowed to park, for one, where they're doing it now, because it isn't permitted at the inn. And Mark Pickery's permit, I made copies, I can go to the town garage and get them if you want. Very specifically says that that access is not approved for trucks.
I think you're misspeaking because this is permitted and approved for trucks.
Okay, I'll get it.
That's what a trans permit is it permits this access for trucks, for commercial drive.
I'll go.
But I think you're talking different things. Yes, go ahead.
We're talking about two different things.
What do you mean? She's saying that location is acceptable for trucks?
The new
I
design,
don't know
she's
if
saying.
that's what she's saying, but the turning radius and such that you identified was speaking of access for trucks.
Yes, it's
Okay, but
approved
on the
and
plan, you don't show a place for trucks to be able to.
right, so if you want a 12 by 40 area for the zoning ordinances, you have 40 feet from the edge of the building out to the edge of that striped area. So a truck could legitimately pull in and park there. But the intent is not to do that because the truck would have to make a 20-point turn.
So, okay, so approximately, how many deliveries a day do we get, or a week, or a month? Natalie?
It kind of depends on the day. Usually like maybe 1 or 2 a day if it's a busy season. But I mean like Christmas week is very different than a mud season week. So
Okay.
it kind of depends on how busy we are. It's very seasonal, obviously. So
And then just one more question. So not that Natalie, I don't want to go down what the inn's problem is, but I do want to know where the intention is for the unloading for this project. So it's over on the inn, but where at the inn?
So the inn, I am just seeing this plan for the first time, but it looks like has an approved unloading zone. I've talked with Natalie. I mean, there's only so much, she can't be out there controlling truck drivers.
yeah, we have discussed it with the drivers before. Like we have talked to them about that and we know that that's a thing, but we also, that's where our trash gets picked up. That's where our fuel gets delivered. That's where it has to be. So we have discussed it with our food delivery drivers though, but.
Okay, thank you, that's helpful. All right, back to the site plan.
But just, I mean, the radius on the other side is 10 feet. It's not 20 feet.
I don't know the Weston inside.
So the loading, the zone that you just talked about where they deliver all of that has a permit?
So the access, V-Trans doesn't permit
Oh, right,
off of their land, but this access accommodates trucks pulling in and unloading.
I think to go back to Deb's question, the old site plan had a truck coming in and going over to the right behind the building.
Right.
That area has been lost to be a unloading area or a dedicated unloaded area, and now they're trying to figure out how to deal with that.
Yeah.
So there's some alternatives that they're
So this
proposing.
wall is more like, that's pretty drastic of me to draw like that, but it's more skewed than parallel to the building.
And why didn't they put the wall wider? Because they've done that already before.
I think just, things happen during construction that sometimes you don't realize the effect of until you realize the effect of it.
Okay, it's fair.
And you had said that the drive was increased to 24 feet.
Yep, at the right of way.
But it's only
And they have to
At the property line.
Yeah, so it's still
So,
20 feet inside the
How does that
property.
help anything?
Because that got this permit through V-Trans.
But it doesn't help maneuverability of trucks on site, right?
Well, I gather that that V-Trans does not care about what happens on the site. They care about the access and the road cut into the site. Is that correct?
Yeah. And so making this wider isn't gonna help a truck turn. It's really, the truck can get in and go like this. It's the getting back here, you're inching to pull forward and back. So this being wider, 4 by 4 feet, if it's over here, that's really only making this turn tighter. So then it would almost make it even harder for the truck to make that.
But I think your plan, correct me if I'm wrong, is like not to even have trucks go there,
Yeah,
really.
it really-
Maybe small
Yeah.
trucks, like vans.
Yeah.
But your plan is to have everything delivered
Yeah.
as it
where
is now on the other side.
Yeah. Which I understand is a separate issue.
No, but discussing trucks and turning around, it doesn't matter, because that's
Yeah.
not, it matters, but that's not your,
And it could be that
intention.
there is a truck here, we just don't want it to be one of those things that like someday there is a truck, maybe,
right,
I can't imagine there's a day the bakery needs a delivery and doesn't.
and needs a
but-
giant truck to come
Yeah.
in there and deliver
Yeah.
something, when it's all trying to be coordinated at one site, okay.
Yeah, and
And
the
usually-
large. Go ahead, Natalie, sorry.
I was just gonna say the trucks that come to the hotel and the ones that will come to the bakery are usually like a 24-foot box truck. Like it's never like the big rigs. Like
Mhm.
it's usually just a box truck, but that's still a tight radius for them still. So
So the trucks now are unloading on 100 and have been up to this point? They're not pulling into the Weston Inn?
no, they're
Yeah.
not. We have talked to the truck drivers and they'll do it a fefew times, but the truck drivers, they will still pull in where the fuel gets delivered and where trash pickup is.
And I asked V-Trans if they would enforce no unloading on the road, and they said they couldn't.
Yeah, they did not seem to
Oh.
care. I also spoke with them.
Yeah, this.
I'm confused.
Last Friday, and I was driving by, I took this photo, and there's a truck, laundry truck unloading on Route 100 parked.
The
And that's-
analogy, or the broader,
almost
a
daily,
different
I see trucks.
scenario I'll present to you all. You can't control the truck driver. Think of the notch road that opens up every summer, that doesn't allow tractor trailers through it. The first week it opens, you can put as many signs up as you want that say $15,000 fine for coming here. You can build a structure that they have to fit under to get there, they still do it. There's that covered bridge, that the structure that they built before it, specifically to stop the box trucks from hitting it. They hit it, caused $23,000 worth of damage, didn't hit the bridge, but there's only so much control we can
But your
enforce.
person at the inn who's receiving all this, is it always one group of people? I'm just
The
thinking,
delivery drivers,
I know they're delivering different things, but the people taking delivery maybe
The kitchen manager.
can say, please pull in,
yeah.
and then help
We
them back
have-
out, something.
We have asked them to before. It's been an ongoing thing that we ask them to
And
please
have
pull
asked.
in.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of an easier,
Well,
safer solution.
It'd be easier and safer to have them pull off on the other side on the bakery side of the road, but
Because of,
And into the park.
because of the mill lane.
oh, is that because it's.
You
their
can't
parking?
see, it obstructs.
But there was a property dispute with the neighbor next door because of the parking lot. That's why the parking lot got moved. So that may
The
not,
mill lane.
that may not be practical.
No, the
Oh,
the-
that, yeah.
on the east
The other
side
side.
of,
I mean, given
Riverhead,
a choice between parking on the west side and parking on the east side, parking on the east side would be better.
So Will, in the original plan, there was a loading area that was approved, is that correct? Am I
Yes,
understanding that correctly? And then in the
Yes.
process of them building it, they just removed that area.
It got
Yes.
changed, it got narrowed.
That's the
We
short,
didn't
narrow
remove
facts here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why, I'm gonna ask the people involved in this, why was that done without any consultation with anybody? Why did you just go ahead and change the plans?
I wouldn't say that it was an intention.
Yeah.
Things happen during construction all the time that go missed.
Well,
that's
your
a
biggest
little
problem is
bit-
unloading, and you went and removed the one biggest problem that you had and made a bigger problem. I'd have an issue with that.
Are you seeing a spot that's not appropriate for loading on the new site plan?
Well, there isn't a spot.
There
for
isn't.
it.
There isn't a spot where
There
you've
is
indicated.
an area that is, this area. They can't get all the way back in.
But I thought you said then they can't get out again.
Well, I mean, they would be doing a 20-point turn.
If there are cars there, it'd be a
Yeah, it's
problem.
just the logistics of it.
If there's customers parked, then they might get blocked in, like it could be a thing.
In picking up on Toby's comment, and he was not on board, for the original approval, nor what happened after. The question, which I think he's got a good question, because he's, puzzled about it. And I think all of us who were on the DRB at the time were puzzled. We approved a modification and a modification to an existing building and an addition to an existing building where the bakery is. And then several months later, we see the building being demoed. So to my knowledge, that's a significant change of plan from what the DRB approved for the bakery. And it was never brought to the town's attention that they completely changed their plan. Regardless of, obviously including loading and unloading zones and all that stuff. So, again, as I said, I was surprised going by and saying, oh, the building's gone. And I just assumed probably they, knocked on Will's door or somebody's door and said, we're completely changing what you guys approved. To my knowledge, that didn't happen.
Didn't happen. And also we were approached that this was going to be an apartment for the baker. There would be some retail sales that people could either sit down, have a coffee and have it. But in your note, you said now there's no apartment either.
Yeah.
So that is, to me, that's a huge change because you're dealing with an apartment and now you're dealing with an expanded space, but I don't know what's going in there, what the plans are for that.
Yeah.
So I hope that's.
And modifying a building is very different than tearing it down and completely doing a new structure.
Yeah. And a different purpose than an apartment with some retail as opposed to whatever, which we have no idea what your plans are. What's going to go in. So
I bring that up as a point of history, but also when I hear things happen during construction, things happened when the plan was changed before construction started. So I don't have a lot of sympathy for, yes, things happen during construction, but that's kind of jumping over the fact that the plan completely changed in the background without notification of the town.
And was the retaining wall in the back on the, I guess that's the east side? Was that changed because of a setback requirement? Or was that just a misplacement of the contractor?
Misplacement of the contractor.
So, I mean, but he has the responsibility to build it the way the plan was approved. He could move it, right?
Could you just show the one that has the two?
The pink lines on here are the originally approved outlines. And then.
I see.
So like this was the existing building.
Uh-huh.
This is where we were proposing to bump out to. That's the existing garage. I think it changed by 50 square feet.
The total square footage.
Yeah.
And so what is gonna go in that spot that was supposed to be an apartment?
That's where the confusion about the 20 feet is, because I was looking at a plan that did not include the garage.
So through the permitting process with the state, they are going to need a next step to their water system. So in order to have public seating, you need a public water supply permit, which they don't have. So the permit right now is just for a bakery.
I see. So what is the water system now? Where do you have?
It's just the well. And so like the employees can drink it, but you need a separate permit for like serving water.
So this is now going to be a cafe.
No.
No.
What
It's
is it?
not going
It's a bakery.
Just a takeout,
It's just a
But you-
takeout bakery.
But in the future, I mean, serving, what I thought you just said that
So
in
it was
order to have a place.
so it was originally approved for like a bakery with
Right.
6 seats
And you
an
said
apartment.
seasonal seating, I
Yeah.
think was the original.
And so now it's just a bakery for takeout. There's no apartment and there's no seating.
And the apartment was just, it's not like half the building changed into bakery. It was always, there was a second floor and there's no longer a second floor. That's really the only difference, I guess.
Okay, so, is that
Yes, I was
is that what
confused
you
about
have?
anything.
Do you have anything else you want to point out on the?
I was just gonna mention that they obviously tore down everything that was there and rebuilt a brand new building, but that was already mentioned.
And when is your, I know obviously we're in the middle of this process, but when is it supposed to be, when is your completion date, your proposed completion date?
So they just received their state wastewater and water supply permit, I think a couple weeks ago, so they're in the process of ordering all of the tanks that are associated with the wastewater system. Natalie, I don't know if you have like
Yeah, we're kind of waiting on getting the tanks, and then once we know when we can get the tanks, that's when we'll really find out when we can open. We were hoping to be open as soon as possible, really, obviously, but probably like November is the goal. But it kind of depends on these tanks. That's the main holdup at this point. So.
And are you fully built inside? I know, because you can't.
Yep, the inside's
You have a kitchen and.
Yep, we've got kitchen, we've got
whatever.
all the equipment, espresso machine, all the things. So we're ready to rock.
Got it,
So
thank you.
Caitlin, can you walk us through the parking? Because in the old permit, I believe there were 18 spaces and it's now been reduced to a smaller number. So can you just walk us through that? And or if you don't have the information now, that needs to be on the application that's gonna come to us,
No,
okay?
I can definitely speak to that now. So as part of the V-Trans permit, the culvert south of the building here is owned by V-Trans. So part of what you have to do when you're developing properties is prove to V-Trans that you're not sending any more flow to their infrastructure than what is today. So through the.
So hold 1 second, because I know this is of interest to 2 of the abutting neighbors. Can you hear her okay? Yes,
Yes.
okay. Go ahead.
So as part of the V-Trans permit, we had to design this stormwater area here
Okay.
in order to detain some of that water so that it's not increasing the flow that's going to this culvert crossing.
Okay.
So during the V-Trans permitting and design process, this area got bigger. And so then in turn, the parking area got smaller, which was, I think there were a few spots along here that we've removed in order to.
But if you remember from the original hearing, the design called for more spots than were required, and
Yeah.
someone complained that they
Someone
were.
did not like that.
Someone complained that there were too many spots.
So now we have 12. The requirement for the zoning would be 10. So we have enough parking to accommodate the bakery. We have 2 extra.
And no one's living there now
And no
either.
one's living there, so that was taken out right now.
I can't see the plan, but between the front of the building and 100, is that where you erected a stone wall? Or something, or can that be converted into an unloading area to get the trucks off 100?
I don't see how that would be possible. We have a swale there that's helping get the water to that crossing culvert to the south.
Did you look at between the inn and the parsonage? So north of the inn?
Oh, this is off on the other,
On the
he's
other side.
talking about the other property,
Oh.
so,
At the,
yeah, wait a minute. Toby was asking about the existing bakery, right? Or are you asking about the
Correct,
inn,
yeah.
Toby? The
I
bakery.
mean, last time I saw it, which was a month ago, there seems to be 20 to 30 feet between the road and the front of the building. But I don't know what's gone on between the front of the building and the road since then. And if I remember correctly, your parking's all to the, if you're driving in, is to the left of the building, is that correct?
yeah, so to the, where you're describing, there's a walkway intended to go there, as well as a grass swale to accommodate getting drainage to that culvert and
But
that's to
can
the
that be
south.
reconfigured as an unloading zone, I guess is my question, because in my mind, that's your biggest sticking point right here, both for the inn and for the bakery.
We would have to take a pretty hard look at it.
You have,
it
what
would-
are those things, the three, I can't see from here, sorry, the three things on that side?
Those
Yeah.
are the trenches for
That's the
the.
wastewater.
That's a
Okay, so
septic
that
field.
you can't, that's,
That we gotta stay far away from.
so that probably prohibits or just, limits what you can put over there.
Yeah.
It's a tight space.
If Western wants to explore a village wastewater system, you've got plenty of parking over there.
Wasn't that also in the front part with a wooden fence and landscaping to fit the environment and the town character more by having some nice landscaping in front of the building, so it didn't look like
Yeah.
a commercial building, but it just looked like, the houses. and
Yeah,
nice
it fit in.
little fence and little landscaping.
Yeah, I apologize, I don't have the landscaping plan, but there is also an updated landscaping plan that I'm pretty sure accommodates this, right, Natalie?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we would want that updated
Yeah.
landscaping plan with the application, okay? So,
So is there a reason when the contractor found out that he put the wall in the wrong place, that he didn't remedy it? And put it in the right place?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
That was
Natalie, do you have
back
an
in like
answer?
23. I'm not sure, that was before my time, so I don't have an answer for that.
But they've noticed it since. Has there been a discussion about that?
Yes.
The discussion is,
It's a poured concrete wall.
There's a wall
I
There's-
understand what it is.
Yeah.
There are machines that take care of those kinds of things.
It's not, I mean, it doesn't seem like a great unloading spot anyways.
And it also is
That's not the point.
adding cost that's unnecessary.
And behind there, so that's the mountain and that's
Yeah.
the support,
So
so
that
you
was the-
can't go
Yeah.
out any further.
Yeah, we were,
You can't excavate there and make it, it's
yeah,
not.
I mean, we could get really creative and, there's something maybe coming all the way over here and up and around. Or here and around, but then you're coming down the mountain with your dolly, and you're going onto other people's properties at that point.
Oh, yeah, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Okay.
so Jeff, you had a question?
Well, maybe it's more of a comment than a question. First process in this building of this bakery was putting the wall up. Then you realized the wall was in the wrong spot. Why did you continue? And you continued because you were sure that the town was just going to roll over and give you the permit. Natalie has stated that the building is all done and ready to go. And they don't have the permit now from the DRB. I mean, they have one, but they're not in compliance. It seems to me, as I said at the last meeting, we've become a town of the have and the have-nots. If you have enough money to hire an engineer and you have enough money to fight it, you just keep building a how many dollar per square foot building, and you're sure that the town will roll over and give you the permit for the building. And I think we have a good lawyer for the town. I've followed a little bit. She just went after a guy in Manchester for building something that he shouldn't have, and she got back the legal fees that the town spent and got the thing removed. So if it doesn't meet our zoning, unless the rules are for the haves and the have-nots, it should not exist there.
I don't think this isn't not meeting zoning. There's no zoning issue here. We didn't ask for any variance or request. We just need to come up with a solution for the unloading, is what it sounds like.
The building's bigger than, didn't Natalie say the building's 24 inches longer than it was permitted for? Well,
Yeah, but that can be done with a simple amendment change.
So
It's not
Yeah.
encroaching on any setbacks.
It's not
but does that take
violating
up part of
anything.
your parking area that you need?
No.
No, they've got extra parking.
They do for the truck?
No, they don't have,
That's right.
Everything.
But it didn't, if you wanna come look up at the site plan, I have the old permitted on the site plan overlaid on the building, and that hasn't shifted. If you wanna.
I'm saying that would probably give you your truck parking if you had that extra little bit, but.
It wouldn't, because this is the pink line here. That was what was previously permitted.
Mhm.
The orange hatching is what's built.
Right over here.
That's a porch.
And this is-
So the loading.
This is the thing that's in the wrong place.
But that extra feet might give you the spot for the truck here.
It would, I can say that.
So, all right, so we have, you've addressed the use, you've addressed the parking, you've addressed the, have you gotten your stormwater permits?
Yep.
Okay,
So
so
that was
that's,
through V-Trans. And Natalie, I think, filed V-Trans and wastewater with the town.
I believe so, yes, yep.
okay. And, so you're waiting for your wastewater?
We have that. We have
Oh,
a
you're just
permit.
waiting for the, you
Yeah,
can't,
so
actually
there's-
installing it?
Yeah, so
Yes.
there's, I think, what were you told now, a 6 to 8 week backup on tanks or something?
Yeah, it was either 4 to 6 weeks, I think, if I remember correctly.
So I would now like to move to the issue of where, because this, even though we're talking about the bakery, we need to know where unloading, I think we need to know where the unloading is going to take place proposed to take place on the inn property and how it's going to get from there to there.
and I would emphasize that the worst spot for unloading is where they unload. You couldn't conceive of a worse spot in the area of the inn and the bakery.
So the,
Would that be
so is,
the
so is,
location, would that be the location in front of the building or out on Route 100?
Road on 100.
Yeah.
I understand that. I try to tell my UPS driver to not do
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
you know, I understand, but, so. But your goal or your intent is that the offloading should take place in front of the inn on the driveway into the inn, is that correct?
I would say in the spot on the site.
So, well, that's where that is,
Where is
that's.
that? Is that, okay, yeah.
But it's not a dedicated spot, it's a spot that, because this is like grandfathered in from a
Yeah.
long time ago, it's a spot where a delivery is made and then theoretically, because they don't do them there, they do them out on the
And
road.
also, I mean, in the 90s, deliveries were made in smaller trucks.
That's true. Mhm.
Deliveries, a lot of deliveries came in vans even back then, or small box trucks.
Okay, so the intent would be to use the approved place at the hotel.
But is-
Yeah,
But is that a known place? Because it doesn't look like it on this plan.
Well, it's written on that plan.
I see the words, but I don't see a place, a designated spot on
Right.
this plan that says, here's where you park your truck.
Right.
I think that's what the grandfathering conversation is though, right? If I looked at this plan, I would say, okay, so there's no loading dock or zone, you're just, the intent is to block the parking.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it,
Yeah,
So why
it's
would
not
we
a
do that?
designated spot.
No,
It
it's
just
just
is
Pulling off
pulling
the main
there
road.
and in the old days, that's
Right.
where
But
they
why would
did.
why would the bakery be included in the grandfathered loading area if it's not really even designated as, I mean, it's not kind of further enhancing
Well, they
the
also,
non-compliance?
they do have a spot that could theoretically be used at the bakery.
Oh,
We should have done a
I
site
mean, yeah,
visit.
I'm not an attorney, but it seems like this is a change to an approval, and a change to approval could mean, okay, now you have to identify all the factors. Regardless of what this 1999 thing shows.
And I think
It's a better change.
there, I will get you guys a copy of the one, and it may be faded out, but there is one and it shows the unloading zone. Kind of where you're talking about, Deb, in the end driveway, and it does identify kind of a parking there. And the parking on the road there between the two no parking signs. Mark Pickering said that, no vehicles should be parked in the no parking zone.
And could you tell, that's the wrong thing. Where are the two no parking signs?
One on this side of the inn and one on the other side of the inn, almost at Mill Lane. So where they're parking right now is right between two no parking signs.
And they're on Route 100.
And they're on Route 100.
Where's the one that's between the inn and the parsonage? Is there room to?
You'd have to look at it, but it's there right now. And so, but I think the clear point of it is the town zoning says that you must have an off-street unloading zone 12 by 40. So now you're trying to find them another spot in 2025.
I just wanna reiterate that there is a 12 by 40 spot on the bakery site. And it has a permitted V-Trans access for commercial deliveries. So that accommodates both of those. It is for ease that the inn deliveries will be the exact same truck and vendor and time and no increase, no different trucks. So they said, hey, can we unload right here and just put this in a car and drive it across instead of making the truck roll up the gate, put everything back, drive across the street, unroll the gate, unload everything.
So I hear what you're saying. So you're saying that there actually is on the site
There is enough
a
space to accommodate.
space to have that, but so what the request is that instead of using that approved, or not approved, it's not approved, I mean, that space that fits the zoning regulations, we're proposing that we do something from here to here.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanna, understand.
So then technically the deliveries coming to the bakery would be like in a Weston Inn van or carried across maybe, Natalie, it depends.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it simple. We have the van, so we could just put it into the van that is just a regular size, drive it over. Again, not increasing any traffic, not increasing any deliveries, not being there for any longer. So it was just for making it easier, less disturbance for everyone around us. So, yeah.
So aside from logistics, when you say that the bakery site has room for deliveries, is that room including the parking spots being utilized? Or is that assuming the parking spots the truck has to drive over?
Are you familiar with this? Like, have you driven past the site any time recently?
Not in the last month, not in the last 30 days or so.
So is the propane tank visible? Can you see where the?
I didn't notice it.
Yeah. I think it might be buried, but there might be like a post or something up there. So from that, where the corner of the wall is, if you go from there to the corner of the building, and then you come out 40 feet, you have a 40-foot by 12-foot area, which is what is required by the zoning ordinances. So there is a free 20 or 40 by 12 foot area, is all I'm saying. I'm not saying they want to utilize that area because it would be difficult for trucks getting in and out of that area.
But no, I understand that. That's why I said not, ignoring logistics. I just wanted to find out if that area you just provided dimensions for, does that include marked parking spots? Or
No.
marked parking spots?
No.
Would
I
it,
wish
would
I
it
could.
block any access to marked parking spots?
Someone might have to maneuver tight, but we have a 24 aisle width there. And normally 24-foot aisle width is required for 2 lanes of parking. We only have 1, so there's plenty of space behind the parking that I think you could maneuver it. I mean, quick sketch there.
I mean, it just to start, I guess, sort of from the beginning, you feel that this is compliant with the state regulations.
Except for the
zoning.
parking across the street.
Well, no, let me just finish. So like the state regulations and what we would require for truck pulling in and unloading on this site, but you are not, the reality is you're not planning to do that, you're planning to do it across the street.
Yeah, if we were not given the opportunity to do it across the street, the site plan would probably have to change a little, and at this point, I don't know what the best solution would be, other than like extending a little, we have 10 feet to work with.
But if you, so this, I have no idea, but you, and again, I don't have the zoning regulations in front of me, so if you say you have over the number of parking spots that you need, would there be a way, would that change anything? I mean, I don't know, I'm not.
I mean, other than.
If you
We
took out
could-
2 spots, would
yeah.
that give you more of accessibility or turning radius? That's just, again, we're just trying to
Right,
sort of
it
all
also-
figure this out.
It also seems that if you have a truck that is in the process of unloading in that area, then there's no access to those other parking spaces for customers. I mean, is the truck blocking the whole driveway?
No, the truck would only be coming out to about that far.
Park in,
And so they could still pull in and park here and here,
all
cause
right,
this is 24 feet, so if you can picture like the width of like at the grocery store between 2 lanes of parking, that's about the width we have. But we only have 1 aisle of parking.
So what about taking out those 2 spots? So the truck could pull in,
Yeah.
back in, come in, maybe even back into that spot, those spots, and not block anything. And then just would still have to unload by hand to go where you want. And then maybe do the opposite, carry your stuff across the street. I mean, I know the inn probably has more items that it needs than the bakery. But if you see that our issue and, everyone's issue is safety and, for the little street where everyone goes too fast and then they can't see and trucks just pulling over. I mean, it's happened to me before too. That's what I think you need to deal with. And if it's an easier fix, because you can have a dedicated delivery truck parking for everything, I think all of the issues may be able to be better resolved.
unless you have 2 trucks that come at the same time.
Oh. Let's just deal with one truck at a time.
Yeah.
Nobody can wait on the street, but that would be just, again, this isn't a hearing, but you can hear what everybody's saying. And we're just, obviously, we encourage everyone to, we want the town to thrive and have businesses, but we all know that it's dangerous, for multiple reasons. And so if there's some way to have a dedicated truck space that then you use it for both businesses, that might be something that benefits
So
this whole everybody's. complaint and conversation.
If you use that space for all deliveries, does the inn get a bigger volume of, which place, the inn or the rest? The
I
get a
believe
bigger
in,
volume
I'm
of-
sure.
You know, the laundry truck must have a lot to carry.
Yeah, I
And
would
would
guess
they carry that all across the street?
I doubt it, so that's, I mean, this is, now you're just into a dedicated space that maybe no one even uses.
Well, the thing is, though, you could have, when that delivery is made, your employee go with their little
Yeah.
van and, you know, if this is a conversation about whether this is a problem for everybody or not, you can have some creative
Yeah.
solution and just say, we have our own cars and we'll put in, and it may not be the most efficient, but if this kind of satisfies all the complaints, you know, you have to do what you need to do with your business, but it would just be.
Natalie.
Natalie,
Go ahead.
One other thing that we have discussed also, if it would appease everyone and make everything easier, is if it'd be possible for us to take over responsibility and maintenance for Mill Lane and create that as a private road and then use that as a delivery spot for both hotel and bakery.
Which would have to be decided by the select board.
Yeah,
Well,
there's a
there
house
are
there.
residents in there
There's
too.
one residence back in there.
Well,
Two.
Yeah.
the other thing is those people get a say in
Oh, two.
what's
Yeah,
going
and
on,
we could discuss it with them as well, but we would maintain it and plow it and all the things. But if that would help, then we would be willing to go through that process as well.
That would
I
be
mean,
a-
if you had that real estate office, would you like trucks idling at, or lived in the apartment above, idling
There's a house
outside your
behind
window
it.
and you can't get out if you wanna get, I mean, I don't think that,
Right,
and that's a
your-
terrible place.
That's a
to
much, that's a
cross the
bigger,
street.
a bigger
That's the
cross
worst place
bridge to
the
cross.
street, Is people come barreling down the hill and they have not stopped fully or gotten to down to 30 miles an hour when they go whisking through
I think that
the.
might be a different scenario if Mill Lane was 2 lanes wide.
Yeah.
But if you had an emergency on Mill Lane and you had a tractor trailer.
Yeah, it would, that, I don't know that
I don't know
gets you
that-
where you wanna be.
Well, just as a comment, as far as the drivers go, I know that this, in town, there was a similar example where the loading trucks were always parked across from the village store, and they were always parked there, no parking and unloading. Somehow they aren't doing that, so they made an accommodation that those drivers are now parking either in parking lot of the village store or something else, but they are not where they used to be on Route 100. So there must be a way to convince those drivers that what they're doing is illegal and.
Well, you know, the interesting thing, and I'll give them, I have seen a tractor trailer backed in to the end.
Yeah.
So I know they can do it.
Yeah, we do ask them to.
Yeah.
What
Right.
about what about the south entrance to the inn? Not where you walk into the restaurant, the other driveway. Can you expand that entrance so the trucks could pull in there?
I think you're talking about
Mill
Mill
Lane.
Lane.
No, that's Mill Lane.
That's Mill
Yeah,
Lane.
that's what I was gonna
I
say.
thought there was another driveway across from where you have your fire pit that dead ends where the second building is with the apartment.
That's
No,
a
that's a
public road.
public
Lane.
road.
Oh, that's Mill Lane,
That's
sorry.
what-
Okay.
Yeah, and we would be happy to take that over again, but
No, well, it doesn't work though with the other comments.
That might just
So,
be a bigger issue.
Jeff, you
Which
brought
kind
us
of
something.
brings us
Do you
back to
wanna
the bakery.
talk about?
No, that was just a copy of the V-Trans permit that they have and this, that and the other thing and somewhere. I think in that, some of the conversation back and forth, there was some comments from either Mark or the other guy that said he didn't think that. Like hand carting stuff across the road is a real good idea either. That was V-Trans. I mean, I think there's a solution here to it, which
Yeah.
is. Get the trucks off the road, get the trucks where they came to you and said they could do it.
Mhm.
And I think this is a simple solution, just do what you said you would do when you came and applied for the permits. And that's all I'm asking, and I'm not trying to, I'm just saying, can we do what we want? But I'm hearing from Will when he makes the phone call that he's getting a lot of resistance
Mhm.
to them complying or, anyway. And remember, this has gone to court as well. Landowner took the decision to court, abutting property owner. So the court actually weighed in on this permitting process. In some manner, there was some sort of settlement made.
There was a
That's when the
settlement.
parking lot was
Yeah,
removed.
that was the parking.
So.
I'm saying
Kind
all
of
the
like a
parking.
Yeah.
null and void. We-
I'm sorry.
That's kind of like null and void because this accommodated anything that came up in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was-
no, that-
it actually was not around this issue.
Yeah.
Right, no, it wasn't around.
It was around a strip of land. So, I'm conscious of the time. I want to give everybody an opportunity to ask any questions that they have. And then I want to, after everybody's had an opportunity to ask questions and or comment, then we'll talk about process from here. So, anybody on, Will, do you have your hand up?
Yeah, I have just a couple of questions needing some clarification. One is, you mentioned that there was the culvert for additional water and that you had contacted VTrans. Did you discuss increasing that culvert to 36 inches?
I'd have to go back, but I think very early on, we had discussed it with them, but we can't tell VTrans what to do. So whether we recommended that or not, we have to design to meet what's there today. We can't, we could give them the recommendation that it would help, but that's VTrans, that's we could help with.
It was discussed and agreed to that the parking area with the parking slots there would be a porous parking area, and I just want to make sure that we're aware of that, and that that is not going to be a cement or hard surface. Correct, Natalie?
Correct.
Thank you. Also, in the retaining wall that starts out on the left to the north at 5 feet and goes to the south to 3 feet, it says, and I'm looking at the original approved plan here on these architectural drawings, it says that 5 foot tall retaining wall with drainage system behind the slope. And I'm wondering, is that drainage system in place?
As far as yeah.
And was it in place before the July 23 flood? Because
This year?
we believe theoretically that that contributed to the flooding on the other side of the road. And I just want to make sure that there is a definite drainage system that's working there.
So the drainage system, I can't speak to when it was installed.
And do we know what it looks like?
Yes, we've seen the cleanouts and the piping of it, where it enters the catch basin. So the stormwater system was not in place. It is still not in place. So if there was a flood event that happened in 2023, that is not entirely representative of what the post conditions of this site will represent, because the stormwater management area hasn't been constructed yet.
And my understanding that there was supposed to be a rain garden in front as part of stormwater management. Is that in place?
Nope, that's what I was just talking about.
Okay.
It hasn't been constructed yet.
And the drainage collection on the northwest side, what does that drainage collection system look like? And again, I assume that that has not yet been installed. Is that correct?
It had, no, it's all part of the same stormwater management that I'm talking about, that hasn't been installed yet. It's a landscape sunken, I don't wanna call it a pond because it's not gonna have water in it all the time, but if you can picture like
We have a system in front of the theater.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's like grass and maybe some flowers and some stone lining.
Just grass in front of the theater, but
Yeah.
same idea.
Yeah, so it's not, it's not like a pond.
Okay. As you can imagine, we are New Thought Vermont, and we're the Red Barn at the south end of the village. So we are directly impacted by any building that goes on the other side of the road. And when there was previously a house there, that was not a concern. I did meet originally when this first was proposed with the water engineer to go through our property to see the potential impact.
Yeah, that was me. I met with you.
Okay, great. So I just want to make sure that we have specificity and about the drainage system, and that we don't have any wrinkles that come up that result in greater stormwater that will affect us on our other side and our neighbors behind us.
Yep, so that was part of our V-Trans permit. We had to prove to V-Trans that we weren't increasing the flow to that culvert. And so that was all approved through V-Trans.
Great. Is there any other information that you can shed or at this time, or you can provide at a later time regarding the drainage system?
Have you seen the most recent plan?
I'm here by Zoom, so I don't have access to what was received yesterday.
I can describe it to you if you'd
Okay.
like. So there's two what we're calling yard drains. They're just smaller catch basins to collect the runoff. One's intended to collect part of the runoff from what would have been the loading dock area and part of the parking lot. The second one is intended to capture the northeast corner of the parking lot, and they both discharge into this, I'm calling it stormwater management area. I guess rain garden is not a different term in my mind, so rain garden area, we just called it landscape stormwater area to leave it open to how they landscape it. But then, so it discharges into there, there's a third structure and the water enters that structure and then is piped from the north side of the driveway, if you know where the new driveway is going in, all the way out to that existing culvert that crosses just before your property. And there's a grass swale that also follows along the west side of the building to capture any of the runoff from the building to discharge into the swale that crosses Route 100.
It would be lovely if we could find a time to meet with our building engineer and our water engineer with you all once this is proceeding. That would be great if that's possible. Thank you so much for answering the questions. I much appreciate it. Thanks.
One quick comment I have, and then a question. I mean, a rain garden is different than a landscaped area. A rain garden is planted with vegetation that helps filter and actually use up some of the water. When you say landscaped area, that to me does not equal rain garden. So
the words rain garden were used by representatives of the plan for the bakery. Those aren't my words.
yeah, no, I was talking to the engineer, not you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I didn't use
She
rain
said
garden.
it says on the plan it's landscaped. Well, landscaped could make, pretty little rock wall around it or something like that. That's not the same as a rain garden.
Nope, and that's why it's landscaped, so that there's openness to how they landscape it. We're not telling them.
So they decided not to do a rain garden, you're saying?
I don't know that we ever said it's rain garden.
I remember hearing the garden as well.
Yeah, so we have sunken garden area with river stones and landscaping from the first approved plan. So, I mean, rain garden.
It's designed-
It's not a rain garden.
It's designed for stormwater treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever you call it.
A
it just
rain,
needs
a
to
rain
be-
garden is a much more like beefier thing that you install. We did not design that as a rain garden, we just designed it as like a sunken area.
It's a depression to hold stormwater and infiltrate stormwater. Now I forgot what my question was gonna be. Actually, it was a simple one. I think someone said there are no parking signs along Route 100, is that correct?
Yes, on the west side.
On the west side. And I realize this takes reading and following signs, but whenever I see a no parking sign, I would have assumed that's for hotel guests, don't park your car here, or dinner guests, don't park your car here, as opposed to signage telling a truck driver that no unloading.
That's a.
No.
You know, unloading not allowed, no unloading or whatever, to me, as a driver of a truck, would tell me something different than no parking. Because probably no parking, I'd kind of blow off and say, well, I'm not parking here, I'm just unloading my truck and then I'm moving.
Yeah, they're there for all of like 10 minutes at the very most, so.
And do you need state approval to put signage on? Yes.
On the state sign, yeah.
Yeah.
I can ask.
Okay, any more comments from anybody on Zoom? All right, any comments from anybody in the room here? All right, let's just talk about scheduling. Our next hearing date is the first week in October, whatever date that is, that first Wednesday.
But there's not much time to.
It's a Jewish holiday that day, I think.
Oh, okay, so we
Is
need
that the end?
Representing my,
Yeah. Is that the?
I
that's
think
the
it's
end of-
October 1st, maybe.
It is.
It is. October 1st is, I mean, you can, I just wouldn't be able to be here, but if you had a quorum, you don't have to rely on me, so.
But
Is that sometime that week is okay?
the ad has to go into the paper.
by tomorrow.
Either by tomorrow or by next week. That doesn't mean the whole application has to be done, but
All right, but
let's just see.
fourth, we could do it on September 30th. That's a Tuesday night. It is not a select board night.
But that's too soon to get an ad in.
Really?
How about Wednesday,
One,
the third,
two.
is October?
That, I could get the ad in tomorrow,
No, this is Wednesday, is the 1st, the 3rd is
You
a
can get the ad in
Friday.
tomorrow for the
Okay.
30th?
September
So is
30th.
it the second?
So what is everybody, on the call, does the 30th work for people?
What
It's a
day is
Tuesday
that?
night.
Yeah,
I can make it work
Okay.
by
I think I
changing my
can.
schedule.
I think I
I can
probably.
do that work.
Okay.
I can't do the 30th, I'll be traveling.
I'm sorry, who was that?
It's Toby, I can't do the 30th.
Okay.
I could do the 1st, I can't do the 30th, or I could do the following on the 8th if you wanted to move it out to the next week.
That's really up to the applicant because I don't know.
You don't need me, I'm just saying I can't do it.
No, I know. All right,
So before we decide, can you tell me what it is that I need to present to you? Because I don't.
Yeah, I'm a little confused on what is happening.
Yeah, I'm not
right now.
gonna be addressing anything with the Weston Inn. I'm with the bakery and that's
Yeah.
what I'm gonna discuss, and I feel like I can right now attest to any changes that were
So-
made. But as far as like figuring out trucks parking on Route 100 and whether we like or don't like the grandfathered buildings over the inn.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I
I can
think,
call council tomorrow and ask them.
I'm wondering if because of the tightness of this, we ought to go to the following week. What about like the following Wednesday, which is October 8th? How does that work for people?
That works.
that works, yeah.
I have Peru, but I might be able to weasel out of it.
This
I-
is much
I've
more
done-
important than.
I know, but I've weaseled out of Peru so many
I'm
times for
joking.
Weston.
Ah.
Well, don't tell them what you're doing.
How about the 7th?
The 7th is a select board. No, it's not a select board.
I won't be here, but again, you don't have to. I'll be out of town. But again, you can.
On the 8th as well, or will you be back?
No, I'll be back the night of the 7th, so.
And you can't do the 9th either, right? Because you have a meeting the 9th.
I can do the 9th.
What about the 9th, October 9th? It's a Thursday.
I can do the 9th.
She can't be here, all right.
no.
You know what, we're not, look, we have another matter to do. I'm gonna have to do a doodle something or other or whatever to find a date.
When are you available? Like, is there are any dates?
So it's
that-
just the 9th and 10th, I'm not available.
Okay,
So
I
we didn't,
need
did
to
we
do
ever
that.
answer your question about
No.
what you're gonna have to?
Well, I thought maybe part of what she was going to present was possible solutions to figuring out the
Well, they
loading
have-
and unloading.
They have a
only-
technical solution.
Well, I thought I heard you say like, I'd have to look at that closer.
And that's submitting
Well,
another site.
I
plan
think,
and
yeah, I think,
another
I mean,
application.
I don't know anything about the inn, so
No,
anything.
no, I'm talking only bakery, solving
Yeah.
it with just bakery property.
Well, I mean, the suggestion of removing 2 parking spaces, I will just say for the room, the intent is to have open seating come back when they get their permit. So I don't wanna remove any parking and have that,
I think you have a parking issue then.
Right.
yeah,
I think
right.
you're not gonna have enough parking if you
Yeah.
remove parking spaces.
Yeah,
Right.
and
So that's
so
not
now
a
now
solution.
it's a
Okay.
battle of, do we wanna say, okay, the truck can fit or not fit? Or unload the inn, but accommodate more than enough
Yeah, and the
parking.
comment I have too about saying this is not about the inn versus the bakery, the fact that the bakery needs deliveries has opened that door up. So
Yeah.
you can't hide behind the fact that the inn is a different project, a different time, a different engineer. The bakery job has opened that door up, in my mind. So
Yeah, for
it's a
us,
very
the
valid,
problem is-
it's a
Yeah.
valid topic for this group because it 100% is related to the bakery. Also the inn too, but it's 100% related to getting the bakery operational. So therefore it opens the door up to.
But I
But
think
I'm
also
not
that-
presenting a solution for the inn, I'm presenting for the bakery. So I'm saying, I'm not speaking to the inn,
But I
like,
guess-
I'm not gonna try to say like, Natalie
What I'm
suggested.
saying is you
no.
need to because you are using another property to make the bakery work. So you can't hide behind the fact that it's.
It's not making it work though, so I wanna like circle back to that. It's pure convenience to utilize where the bakery is.
No, I
getting the-
told, we all get that. We all get the convenience part. What you're telling us is you're not here to talk about the inn. I'm saying you need to talk about the inn because you're using that property to make the bakery operational.
Right. If you had just said to us, we're gonna use.
I agree too.
We're gonna use the bakery, we have sufficient site to unload, that would be one thing, but you've actually told us you're not. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing, you can't quite have it both ways, just cause you've told us that's not what you're gonna do.
Exactly.
And that's the issue.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So if you tell us we're really gonna do this and we're gonna figure it out, that's all that would be before us. It would have nothing to do, the inn is a separate issue.
yeah,
But if you need to make it work there and tell us that you're gonna do it and it will be what you really are gonna do.
yeah.
So that's the thing.
I'm a little confused. You said earlier, just a bakery for takeout, no seating, no apartment. And then I just heard you say open seating. Am I missing
So
something?
I'm saying, so the seating was taken out because of the water supply. But I'm saying that the intent is to have seating in the future once that permit is figured out. So I don't wanna
You don't wanna
remove
lose
parking
parking.
from this area.
Which permit?
That was my question.
The
Want
well,
a public water permit.
Not right
Okay.
now.
So we're trying to get open and just do takeout, that sort of thing for now, until we can get the public water
Why don't
permit.
you talk to Merrill and
Also, I just wanna like clear the air that we're not trying to hide anything.
No.
The seating issue came up a month ago during the permitting process, when they said, you can't have seating, you don't have a public water supply permit. We said, okay, what's the quickest way we can get this through? They said, remove the seating, we removed the seating, we got our permit.
Okay, here is your request for parking. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but that's what you requested
So
last
we-
time.
Would you come back to us to say, okay, now we're going to have seating and we're going to serve, it's no longer a retail bakery, it's going to be a facility where people can sit and be served
Yeah.
like a cafe.
We
So
would
you
have
would
to.
have to come back to us
Yes,
and not just kind of.
Once we got to that.
right, but we're not at that point yet, so.
So, but that's the required parking that the architect
How many
put
spots
forth.
is it? 14.
Mhm.
Well, it was,
It was
I think it says 12.
So there's 14 spaces
There were 14 spaces.
Okay.
required,
14 required.
and then 2 of those were for the seating.
Well-
So those were removed right now because of what
Well, and also for the
residential unit.
residential.
Yeah, so
So
this
there's
says-
not
We
gonna
don't
be-
have residential use anymore, so you
No
can take
residential.
those
Well,
out.
so what are you gonna do about parking when you add seating?
So that's what I'm saying, is we have those 2 extra parking spaces.
That's why they have 12, because
We
I
have
think we
12,
just
we only
need
need
12.
10.
Okay.
And they
So-
don't have a person
But that's why
living
I'm
there.
trying, I just wanna clear the air, like, we're not trying to
No,
like hide.
and
it's
we're
a-
not saying you
yeah,
are,
it's
it's just
just
that it's the
Yeah, I'll take
reality
that
of a road that's dangerous.
Yeah,
And you guys
yeah.
should appreciate, you know, your people walking across the street or unloading, if there's some way for you to actually get a real spot on this site to unload trucks and take the in out of it. Again, cause even though you say you do, you're telling us you're not, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's just, we're kind of
Yeah.
stuck with knowing
Well,
this.
I think it's also just the reality of, we have the space.
Right.
They can do it. We know they're not.
But maybe try to,
You know, there's only so much we can do.
Right.
If we put up no
maybe what
loading,
Jeff
I
said,
think the
you
no
know,
loading
unloading
is a
zone.
good
Just
start.
try harder.
Yeah.
You know, have
Yeah.
people, someone dedicated to meet those trucks.
Yeah,
You
So
know,
if
like
there's-
have a plan for us. That's what we
Yeah.
think we need.
yeah.
Yeah, so the
So-
answer to
If
her
there's-
question, she needs to submit an application again.
With the site plan
Yeah, for all the
Yeah.
changes.
for all the changes and a way that you're gonna show us that you're gonna,
And there, it would be
Unload.
helpful to have a written, not just a site plan, but a
Right.
written.
Yeah, I'll give you.
Application, yeah.
If there,
Narrative.
if there
Right.
isn't an apartment on the second floor, what is on the second floor?
There's no second floor.
there is no
Oh, so it's just a
Yeah. It's just
high
aesthetic. look.
ceiling?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's really pretty in there.
You have to
sure it
take
is.
down the blackout thing so we can all take a look from the road.
When we're ready.
Okay.
All right, Jeff?
I just have one question. Bigger than it's supposed to be, and we're still got non-answer. I mean, it sounds like we've gotta go back to the DRB for site plan approval. Does that mean it can open without site plan approval? Question mark.
No, it doesn't have a permit then.
There's no permit.
Okay, so that was just a clarification for that was just what I asked.
Yeah, thank you.
Can you repeat that? I just didn't hear. Sorry, I'm just.
Well, you would not be able to open until you get a permit. So you don't have a I mean, right now you have a permit to do what's on that original plan. You don't have a permit to do what's on your new plan.
What you've already done.
Right.
And my comment would be, you ask what your marching order is while you're gone, which is to come back to us with a legitimate unloading area that doesn't impede on 100. I think that's, in my mind, that's the biggest issue here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There is,
You don't really have a good unloading place now. I know you say the inn isn't included, but you started by saying that you're combining the load on a delivery truck, one truck that's delivering to both the inn and the bakery at the same time. I'm not misstating that, that's correct, right?
Yeah, yes.
So right now you don't even have a legitimate place to unload for the inn. That's what needs to be addressed for both properties.
Yeah. We do ask our drivers to deliver in the parking lot of the hotel. Like that is what we were, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, for the hotel, we are supposed to be getting deliveries in the parking lot. And we do have, there's a few truck drivers and deliverers that will comply with that, but like fuel and trash, obviously that is different. but the food delivery drivers, we do ask them to park in the parking lot. But they'll do it for like a few times, and then they're going to do what they do, but we do try to do that. That is what the intent is, to be in the parking lot of the hotel.
But there's somebody from your property helping them unload, correct?
That I don't really know. I'm not on site. As far as I know, it's usually like a housekeeper will let them in.
You don't get deliveries in the kitchen unless somebody's in there to accept.
Yes.
Okay. That's my point. So you should be holding the truck driver accountable, whoever that person is, not to load anything until it's properly removed from 100. I think that's a fair assumption.
Yes, that's fair.
The other thing is, in the original meeting, I mentioned that because there didn't seem to be enough parking for the inn, that the bakery was, the hours, I'm sure, will be at a point that will allow people to park for the inn, and that I was concerned just to know, clarifying, is that the case or not the case? And if that is the case, then does there need to be a crosswalk there for safety concerns if people are moving from one side of the road on Route 100 to another?
We can't legally have a crosswalk because it's a state highway.
Well, safety would be an issue.
That'd be fantastic, but
no, I just
how complicated it is.
Well, the town would have to take over the road. I mean, it would take years.
Yeah, I mean, also the Vermont Country Store should have a crosswalk, and to the Christmas.
I think we all know the crosswalk is ongoing.
Alright, so, alright, where we are is we don't know, we don't have a date.
We don't have a date.
We don't know anything. We don't have a date. But I'm
As
gonna
soon as
work
we
on
have
the
a date,
date.
I can give it to you.
Well, could we have a date that's at an earlier time in the day on that Wednesday?
Which Wednesday?
The 8th? Rather than at 5 o'clock, could we have a meeting that's earlier in the afternoon?
That would work better for me personally, but
I'm sorry, what did you say, Natalie?
I was just saying that would work better for me personally if we could do it earlier in the day.
There's no reason we can't have an earlier meeting.
I can do it on your doodle.
I'll do that on the doodle and we'll see, okay?
How early in the day? I have 2 jobs.
Anytime before like 4.
I could do the 8th, but I'd have to do like.
You know what,
earliest-
no, don't, I'm gonna do a doodle.
4.
I'm gonna do a doodle,
How about
okay.
4?
All right, I think we are ready to, not that we're not having a hearing, we're not closing this. I think we're ready to say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you to Natalie.
you.
Thank you,
And
Natalie.
we're ready to move to
Good to
our
see
next
you.
matter.
You too.
Thanks,
Thank
Natalie.
you.
Thank you. And if you have any questions, like feel free to reach out. Again, not hiding anything. We want to be open. I don't know what I don't know, so let me know.
Okay. Great, thank you.
Do we really need a site visit?
Oh, that was,
yes.
wait a minute, that's a good point.
We do.
We
need a
should at
site
least,
visit.
when we warn whatever it is we're gonna warn, we should warn the ability to have a site visit if we wanna have a site visit. So thank you.
During the meeting.
It would be before the meeting.
Before the meeting, we do that with other
We
things.
do
to
the
just
meeting
put-
outside.
Right,
Yeah.
even if it's raining, no, we just,
We will
Planning meetings, I
take
guess.
that into account.
yeah.
And, I said, what do we do if people are on Zoom then? What do we do then?
I
We
will
carry
also
them with a laptop.
I will also say that we should figure out a time sooner rather than later, because they are actively working on the wastewater.
Yeah,
treatment
no,
over there,
we-
so we don't wanna,
Oh,
Well, it's gonna be at
Interrupt.
least 3 or 4 weeks from now,
yeah,
Because of just warning
just
it,
because of,
yeah.
I mean, our
putting it in the
our
paper.
paper of record only comes out once a week and
Yeah, okay.
all that
That's
kind of
just the
stuff.
process.
We'll try to
stuff.
get at this as quickly as possible, okay?
Appreciate it.
So I'm clear, I'm going to do a full application.
I'll send you what should be in the narrative.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll send you the application form.
Okay.
But this is already done, so you don't have to do anything, unless
Unless
you
you
change
change
it.
Unless there's some additional changes.
Right, unless you change it.
Would it be helpful for everyone if there's like a storyline with it.
Yes.
Yes, it's a narrative.
Yeah, but more like, here's where we started, here's how we got here.
Sure.
Because there were changes, obviously, that the
That
state
would be very
gets
helpful.
Yeah.
to tell us we have to
We take
do.
everything into consideration, so we liked it, the more information you can give us,
Okay,
the
yeah,
better.
cause I don't wanna just be like, here's what we're doing.
Right.
I want you to understand like why parking reduced, why
Mhm.
things have
Yeah, that would be
changed.
great.
Yeah,
That would be very
That would
helpful.
be great.
okay, and do you all have copies of the state permits, or should I submit those with the next application?
I think they were recorded, so I can find out and
I can
Yeah,
just
they
attach
should be
that.
just
Yeah.
attach them.
Yeah.
That would be better.
Everything you have,
Would be helpful.
everything
Yeah.
would be, it would
Got your
be
work
the
cut out
more.
for you for that.
No, but,
All right, thank you very much.
thank you very much.
We are now going to move, and hopefully this next agenda item is really quick. I don't think we're gonna get to the other stuff,
That's
but,
fine,
because actually, I think there's a meeting coming in here at 7.
really.
I think so.
What would we?
Is there? No?
7:30 for,
Oh, 7:30?
right, and tonight's
No,
not,
tonight.
tonight's not a meeting.
No, yeah, there's
Or-
like the rivers something or other
Oh, not
tonight.
that it wasn't anything I was aware of. but-
Okay, all right, let's go to the next agenda item, which actually, thank you,
Bye.
which
Thank
is
you.
the Seckler subdivision. So Will, this was at your request also, so what?
Mhm.
You have that email? I don't remember everything that I talked about, but I can,
Which
Which on the,
email?
yeah.
I sent an email about the issues with Seckler subdivision,
Oh,
but
is
anyways,
that the inconsistency between whether or not it's the bond, the amount?
no, all of that's
That part?
pretty much settled.
Is this it? This is your
Yeah, but that's from before the last time we talked.
811, 812? No, I don't.
Well,
have-
all that remains to be done on Seckler is the select board have to approve updating the class 4 section of the road. And we need to get in a cost, oh, actually, that's one thing is we have to prove Jessica to come up with a cost estimate. And that her fee would be based on the cost estimate.
So is that something that the DRB has to be involved in, or?
Right, I thought that was already like in the decision already process.
It hasn't been done, there's no approval to upgrade the class 4 road and she doesn't have approval to do a cost estimate, Jessica. Go ahead.
I think at the last meeting, I pointed out that we were gonna, the last thing that the select board did on that was that it was gonna be sent to Bruno and Associates for their approval, which was our engineer back then. Does the landowner have that? And I spent some time on this issue today with Shauna. Bruno and Associates is no longer in business. We went through our files in here. Seckler's got right to the point where I believe it was myself that made a motion that it go to be sent to Bruno's for who was our engineer at the time, our engineering firm. And so Shirley, or Daryl's motion and Shirley's motion was turned down, 4 no's. And then I believe I made a motion that said that we send it to the engineer, Bruno Associates, for their approval. I have not been able to find anywhere that any engineering firm approved that. So does the landowner or do you? Sean and I spent probably an hour today looking through Seckler stuff, so it really wasn't totally approved because we were waiting for an engineer to okay what they were proposing. And I brought that up the last select board meeting that you were at, and it's in, you know, it's in tape recording, so I'm not sure if anybody has I mean, I would think if I was a landowner and I was doing that subdivision and somebody approved that for me, you know, said it's a done deal, I would have that letter.
But we have the approved decision.
No, he's talking about approving the plans, but my assumption was,
Oh,
is
the
that,
road, I'm sorry.
The road.
my assumption was that the current engineer was gonna do that.
The current, the
Our town
motion was made in the PowerPoint presentation that you made. And there was a motion made to
This was
send
at a
that,
select board meeting.
send that stuff to Bruno Associates, an engineering firm. And basically, they were our engineering firm that the town of Weston used at that time. And if they approved Ellis Spieth's drawing on that stuff and said it's okay, then it would move forward. But they don't have approval until, the way I read the minutes, until we have a letter from an engineer that okays what they wanna do. Bruno Associates was who we picked at that time, but if they're not in business and nobody ever went to Bruno, we gotta have, in my opinion, an engineer.
We do, Jessica Rizzio has been working.
Yeah, but she's
For
too,
us
she's too
currently.
soon. He's saying that what they designed for the road never got approved. And then you get to the build part and Jessica overseeing to make sure it's
Right, but she would be the one to
Okay.
approve it.
Well,
Right.
Jessica would build, Jessica,
Exactly.
if it didn't go to Bruno, so just hear me out, if the extension of the Class 4 town road didn't go to Bruno's and nobody has approval, then Jessica, who, I'm not sure who Jessica is, I'm hearing.
the town engineer.
Town engineer.
She doesn't have a last name?
Rizzio.
Rizzio. Okay.
What's your firm that she's with the big firm out of
MSK.
NSK.
So.
Yeah, so she's with the, well,
So,
they, yeah.
if it wasn't done, it should be sent to her. If she approves it and says it's okay, it meets all the stuff. You get that letter back from her and I think it's approved. The minutes were very clear on what it said.
So it's all been
And this is all with
configured, but
respect
never
to,
approved.
this is all with respect to the access road. This
Right,
is-
they asked the town of Weston to approve how many feet of fixing up
250 feet, and then
250
there's more
feet.
that's just drainage.
of an old Class 4 town road.
Right.
And so I was on the select board at that time, so I was reading it and then Will put on a thing and it said in the thing, I made a motion to send it to Bruno's. It got, the motion got passed, and I can't find anything beyond
Okay,
that.
so you know.
So
we're
it
not.
really needs to be sent, the road extension on Weston's Class 4 road needs to be sent to an engineer. Ellis Spieth's drawing needs to be sent to an
And it has.
engineer, and she
Okay.
needs to approve it.
Alright, so you need it in writing.
Yeah, I think anything to do, and if she approves it in writing, I think I'm not on the select board right now, but I think there would be okay.
It sounds like a thing that can happen. Right? Can
Do you
do
have,
that?
we have the plans?
Do you have
Jessica
it?
has it.
Oh, so she already
Oh.
has them.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
we
already
already-
looked at it.
Oh, there's a
Oh.
pile of stuff in there, I mean,
Okay.
Okay, so it sounds like
So
is that okay?
That's fun.
Can you just follow up with her and make sure? But that road, not all of it's Weston, right?
The whole project has to be,
So the other part of
the
the
whole
road
project
has
is
to be
engineered, the
approved.
private road and the wastewater system and the
Oh.
stormwater.
But you started
system.
out by saying you need approval to tell her to go ahead? Is that what you're looking for?
I need approval to have her do an estimate of the cost.
Not
Or,
the cost of construction, not the cost of her,
Oh,
So
not the cost of her,
for the bond.
her
the
engineering.
total cost of construction, including the roads and everything else, you need her to do.
But are you saying you need the select board to say you can do this, or?
I think the select board is bound to give him approval because our zoning says that we need to have an engineer look at this stuff. So in the running of a town, you have to assume that at some point a development's gonna come along and you're gonna have to hire a person to look at this stuff. Your zoning says we need to have an engineer do this, so I believe he will get select board approval, but I think I think it's an easy thing because of, it's part of the zone. And if the select board says, no, we're not gonna allow you to spend the money to comply with the zoning, I don't think that would fly.
And all these costs, this cost plus they get passed on to the applicant? No.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what, I think there's some, I.
That's why we
have to
need
look at the
her-
subdivision regulations.
We need
There is-
her to do a
Right.
cost of the project,
Right,
and
but there's also
Yeah,
this
yeah.
other cost
For
that
the
they're gonna
bond?
have to.
that's determined by a percentage of the cost of the project.
For the bond.
So if it costs like $300,000 to put in.
No, I'm not
Oh,
talking about that piece, I'm
okay.
talking about what is missing here, this link that never got done. There will be a cost associated with her reviewing it and approving it and saying
Oh.
yes as built or whatever. The applicant pays that too, right?
The applicant pays 1% of the cost of the
Of all of
the
it,
infrastructure.
As a bond.
No,
No, okay, pay.
as that's
but
the,
we have an extra piece here, pre-construction costs of engineer work.
I don't know,
That's what I'm asking, who
Yes.
pays that?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know if it's specified.
And I just have a question, Deb, and this goes back to something, and you were at that select board meeting where I read the minutes out loud and this, that, and everything, but and one of those things that in talking with you speaking at that meeting, you said that people shouldn't get final plot plan approval until all infrastructure is done,
Or a bond is put up.
or a bond is put up. Is the bakery in the same category?
They're not a subdivision.
So it's just subdivision, it's not any major development, it's
No,
just
it's,
subdivision.
but good question, but it's just in the subdivision regulations.
right.
Yeah.
Protect the potential buyers of the lots.
All right, so are you okay on Seckler? Okay, what I am proposing, given the
Oh,
time,
can I ask
Oh.
what we finally decided?
I will talk to Jessica about if she can do a written approval of the plans as drawn. And I will talk to the select board about funding an estimate of the cost of the whole project.
And they'll fund the estimate, okay.
wait a minute, who funds the estimate?
The
I don't
select
know.
board would have to fund,
Having the
Jessica.
engineer do the estimate.
yeah,
Oh, I see, okay.
Hey, Jessica.
There's the approval of the plans,
Mhm.
but then there's a cost estimate of how much it's going to cost to put
Right,
in
right.
the required improvements.
Mhm.
Okay, and so that's the second piece. One is she's gonna look at the plans to see if they're okay, and then the second is we're going to ask her to do a cost estimate of the improvements.
Right.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So what I'm gonna suggest, moving along, is that we, first of all, Will, thank you for doing all the application checklists, but my brain doesn't have the ability to start going through those at this hour. But what I did want to ask everybody, not that I want anybody to apply for a variance, but do we feel any kind of a thing that there's, that there could be a smaller, you know, is our loading dimensions, our loading requirements, is that like onerous in a village, or should we be saying that we could grant a smaller unloading?
But if it were onerous, then why wouldn't they have raised that when we originally approved it and said, oh, wow.
Because they didn't
that's
know where the wall was gonna end up.
Oh,
retaining
come
wall.
on, I don't.
But do we have authority over how big, I mean, aren't.
Well, that's what I'm
is
asking.
V-Trans- I mean, or V-Trans, I mean, is that in our zoning?
What, I'm sorry, what was your question? I
Or
apologize.
part of either V-Trans for their permits, cause
No,
they
it's
have.
in the
no,
zoning
no.
bylaw.
They just care, V-Trans just cares about that opening to get in, which they've made bigger, I mean.
Okay.
That's
If
the
they
road
had
cut.
if they had just lied to us, it would have been way simpler. No, if they would have just said, we open this up, this is where we're unloading, and that's it, like bringing the in, I'm sort of only half kidding, like that opens up all these issues, so they have to
Well,
they have to deal with
they get
it.
themselves into it.
You know, they started this kind
They've
of.
been in non-compliance for quite some time at the inn. And I don't know if you have sent them a letter and started the process. But they've obviously been in non-compliance at the inn.
What is their non-compliance?
So their permit says their deliveries will happen in the driveway.
Okay, and so then,
They're non-compliant there.
right,
And so then I spoke with Will a few times about it. And they basically, and here's what bothers me is if I'm getting the right story from Will, and I would hope you guys, if you do another permit for them, and I don't know exactly the legal verbiage of it, but Will is telling me that they've said to stay off the bakery property with the tape measure. Because I think the building is quite a bit bigger than they're even saying. And so I think the next permit they get issued should say 24 hours notice that our zoning administrator has the right to come onto your property.
can't do that.
And
I read the zoning administrator's handbook, and he needs a search warrant to go on their property.
or you make it part of the permit.
I don't.
You start on the other side of the.
Well, that would be a question for Merrill, I mean.
I mean, I feel like,
You've gotta be able to
I
check.
understand your point about, somebody just kind of railroading through everything.
They build a how many $1 million building?
No, I know, but I
and
think
said
the
the
thing
town
is-
Still
will let it
recording,
slide.
is this still the meeting? I don't know, just.
Anyway.
I just feel like
Yeah, I think,
we,
I'm going to,
We need to make
call
it
this
safer.
meeting, over.
so-
And we are adjourning the meeting at 6:58. We're gonna turn off the recording. We're gonna have a little conversation here. If anybody on would like to stay on for a little conversation, you're welcome to. We're talking about process now.
Didn't the handbook say that if the owner refuses to cooperate with Will, then he can just go ahead and assume that they're in, that